Henri Cartier-Bresson is one of this century's icons of photography. He has transformed the art of photography with his uncanny sense of timing.
From Paris, a special edition of Charlie Rook.
Henri Cartier-Bresson is one of this century's icons of photography. He has transformed the art of photography with his uncanny sense of timing, his intuition in seizing the right moment, his sensitivity, and his sense of geometry. His photographs have given a meaning to the world they arrest. He is a marksman and a sharpshooter whose main tool is spontaneity. By the early 70s, he stopped making photographs and returned to painting and drawing. He gives few, if any, interviews these days. I had the extraordinary privilege to spend an afternoon with him in Paris recently, where he lived with his wife, photographer Martine Frank. This is, in this interview, this conversation, the portrait of an artist who refused to be a passive onlooker in a world which moves perpetually. We begin this hour with Richard Avedon, a friend of mine, and certainly one of the great photographers today. He has, in his own lifetime, known, admired Henri Cartier-Bresson.
Charlie, just before you say a word, he is the greatest photographer of the 20th century. He is like Tolstoy was to literature. He covered all the ground in a vast way, politically, socially, and the most personal and complex insight into the human personality. Go ahead.
Well, you say he's like Tolstoy.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he showed the moving of history, the movements of history. He was in China, he was in India, he was everywhere that marked the movement of the 20th century. I'm in awe of him. I'm absolutely in awe of him. Everybody's a Cartier-Bresson baby. They all have taken from him.
He was a master of which everybody followed.
That's right.
In photography.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the pictures go beyond any breaking down of what a picture is supposed to be or any intellectualizing about it. When you hear Bach, you know you're in the right place. And to have lived in the time of Cartier-Bresson is something in itself.
Your friend and mine, Adam Gopnik,
Yeah.
thinks he's one of the 5 great artists of the 20th century.
Yeah, why not? Of course.
Can you tell what made him great? I mean, or is it you look at it and you know, you see the greatness when you see it? I know when I see it.
If you had a career that had 5 great photographs, that would be pretty good.
Good.
This is hundreds of them. Charlie, he did many
5
pictures.
would be good.
Yeah, 10 would be good. Nobody has that track record. And, I worship him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up now, a conversation with one of the great photographers of all time. Many people say the best of his time, Henri Cartier-Bresson. You once said, "I don't take the photograph takes me."
Yes.
What did you mean?
Sensitivity, intuition and sensitivity, and not wanting. Mustn't want, must be
Feel. See,
yes and receptive.
composition for you,
Geometry.
geometry. Are you born with that? A sense of geometry?
Has to be cultivated.
But you once said also about photography, nothing worth knowing can be taught.
Yes. What's your opinion?
I think that's probably true. On the other hand, there are things that you would expect of craftsmen.
Can be teaching how to use a little finger, that's all.
Just the little finger. Yeah. And to
No, there are fingers to be alive, and I don't know.
was your photography influenced by your early interest in art?
My photography is just an instant drawing. You have to guess and quick advantage of photography. But you need one, and with drawing, you need 3 fingers. And it's a meditation drawing, and photography is just shooting, bang.
I look around this room, and there are all these photographs of yours. They are magnificent and the most admired not my opinion, everybody's opinion. You never hang your own photographs on your walls at your home?
No, good.
You never printed your own photographs. You would just send them away.
Yes, friend of mine prints. I don't know how to print and takes time, and I like shooting, that's all.
Just shooting. What is it you like about it?
I don't think of photography. I think of what I see and the geometry. That means everything has to be composed properly.
Today,
It's because I started with drawing.
and you return to drawing.
So I never quit drawing. The camera is a way of drawing.
When you take the photograph, is there a moment for you that you know when to snap?
When the subject takes me,
When the subject takes you?
then I'm receptive and I shoot. But it's just to concentrate. In the silence. And you mustn't want. You must be receptive. Don't think even. The brains is a bit dangerous. Sensitivity, the flavor.
Is true for drawing as well?
Life in general.
In general, yes, it's very good. It's philosophy of life is to
That's it.
let it soak it up, let it overwhelm you. Before the war, were your intentions, were the way you photographed different than it was after the war when you created Magnum and became a photojournalist?
All these are labels.
Doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. It's a relation with reality, to be present, to be sensitive and participate. Receptive and participate.
Did serialism affect you in your photography?
I have no idea, I never thought of it.
What did it mean to you when you were a young man and you were associating with the movement and young serialists?
Wisdom?
You were very young at the time of.
I don't know what young means. You're alive or not?
Yes,
Wrinkles have nothing to do with it.
yeah, but if the brain is young,
Sure.
the heart is young.
I'm an anarchist.
An anarchist?
Yes,
In what way?
non-violent.
But an anarchist in what way? What is it you want to? If you look
I'll answer only in front of a police.
at this life that you have lived, is it not a life of anarchy, is it?
Anarchism is an ethic. It's a way of behaving.
And so how have you behaved?
I'll answer in front of a police only.
Something must have made you want to be a photographer.
I don't consider myself a photographer. I'm using a camera, but everybody, there's millions of photographers. It's what you see, the way you meet.
So you see yourself simply as an artist?
I'm just a human being. Anybody sensitive is an artist. What's all this?
Recently, I've had lots of conversations about where the world is. Tell me about this. Globalization, what it'll mean to Europe. Do you think about that? Does it bother you? Do you worry about where this world is going and how fast it's changing and whether something humane is being lost? Something of culture to be treasured is lost?
This present society is crumbling to pieces. And fast.
In what way?
Tensions are bigger and bigger. Rich
Big
and poor,
Rich and poor,
and between rich countries and poor countries.
those with technology and not.
And how do you call that? Mondialisation. is extremely dangerous.
Because
But then you have the whole stuff in the Moulinex.
Homogenation.
Hmm.
It's all homogenized
And anarchism is an ethic.
that you live by
Yes, an act as well.
and act.
Yeah.
Would you like the first line of your obituary to say what? He was an anarchist?
Obituary will come in due time. No rush.
When you look around here, though, it is your history. It is your history. Africa. You know, you went to Africa as a young man. Was it influential for you?
Well, I called Blackwater fever.
I know.
And all my fortune was told already.
By Max Jacobs' mother
Tarot.
with tarot cards.
We were tarot cards.
She said that you would marry an Asian woman. She said you would find something you wanted to do well. What else did she say?
When I'll be very old and marry somebody, and I'll be very happy.
That's exactly. Martin, did you hear that? She said when you were old, you would marry someone
Oh, yes.
and it would make you very happy.
Yes.
What does that say? I mean, the prophecy was pretty clear and pretty accurate.
Time doesn't count. It's all the problem of the time and espace. Time and space and
It's predetermined.
Yeah.
There is a story, though, that you sent a letter to your grandfather because you thought you were dying. And you said, I want to be buried in Normandy. And I want to listen to a Debussy string quartet.
yes. The Debussy string quartet. He said it comes too expensive. Come back to that.
Come back. It's too expensive to have a funeral that way.
Well, yes, but you pee black.
That's an indication of the
Oh,
disease.
yes. Usually you die after a few days.
You thought you would die?
I was unconscious.
You, like many other young men and other young Frenchmen, set out to see the world, and especially the colonialized world. India, Africa, Asia. Was that just the spirit of an anarchist? What was your motivation?
To live.
To live and learn.
Yes.
Of all these photographs, Camus, Gandhi, they signal to many people the work of one of the great artists of our century, you. That means something. It doesn't?
No. About the Peter mentioned that picture of Gandhi.
Yes.
I gave him a book published by the Museum of Modern Art, and there was a photograph of in front of the hearse.
Renee,
And then he said, "What's this significant?" And he said that I told him that's a great French poet, preoccupied by the destiny of man and so on.
yeah.
And he said, "Death, death, death." He closed the book, and half an hour later, he was killed.
What does that say? Something about the preciousness of life, don't you think?
And I was very lucky because I had always on the hip pocket,
Money.
no, film. And I had about 5 bows, and I followed the funeral of Gandhi from then on.
What makes a great photograph for you?
Combination of shape, geometry, and thing that you can't describe, which is sensitivity or imagination. I don't know.
And you can't teach it.
No,
Do you have any regrets? Any regrets at all about the life that you have lived?
regrets that Shim and Kappa were killed too soon.
Robert Capa and David Shim, who were killed too soon. You got to know
Because
Capa
we were all the same age.
and friends.
No, there was a unity, each one being very different from the other. Shim was a thinker, Kappa an adventurer.
Did Kappa help you form Magnum
No, it's Shim who had the idea.
of Magnum?
Yes. He was a thinker. And Kappa an adventurer was quite different.
And you were?
And Attilo,
No, no.
and the complete unity,
Complete unity?
except that Kappa was taking our money
Yeah.
and Shim knew how to manage to make more money. Kappa was a gambler, but he didn't always win on horses, not always. But it had no importance, we didn't give a damn about all that.
Matisse? Did you know him? You photographed him. A friend?
Can't be a friend. I'm a young man. I was a young man. I knew Matisse, I knew Bernard, I knew Picasso, but Picasso wasn't a painter. At the beginning, yes, after it was manipulating everything. But Bernard all his life long.
Was a painter.
And yes. And Matisse, the beginning and the end.
You never cropped your photograph.
No, that, none of that.
You would not allow it.
It's a question of allowing. But if you shoot properly, well, it's there.
You also never took a lot of photographs of the same scene. Never more than
No, there's no rule, it depends. Sometimes you shoot and you scrum.
like de Gaulle said.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, because things change from second to second. So it's no longer the same thing.
Why did you give up photography and start primarily drawing?
I never stopped photography.
My impression was that you were primarily drawing.
I'm drawing, yes, but sometimes I have a camera. But it's a tool or another tool.
Is that how you see the camera? Simply as a tool, like a brush?
Not exactly.
Do you carry one with you all the time?
Not today.
Not today.
You never know. I should.
Pen,
Oh, pencil, pencil.
pencil. What's been for you the best part of living? The best time?
When I escaped from prisoner,
The third time. Twice they caught you,
everything is interesting.
but being in prison was awful.
Yes.
You escaped with what? With Claude Frank?
Telephone, yes.
How did you escape?
I'm thinking of all those who haven't been able to. I have been lucky.
You think of those that didn't make it.
Yes. Ravaruska. That's where one was sent. And you couldn't escape from them. It was far away in Poland. To go down to where Rhine wasn't so far. So, yes, it's far all that now.
It's far,
Mhm.
but it's powerful. We don't seem to be any more civilized as time passes. Bosnia, Kosovo, Srebrenica, the inhumanity of all the violence, the unnecessary death. Did the war change you?
It was obvious.
Never in color.
I like painting.
In color,
Yes,
but no photographs in color. This is your early work. Some of it on the walls here. This Elie de Prado in Marseille in 1932. What do you see? Perfectly composed.
I don't know.
This is the time you were in Mexico.
Matisse liked it. I gave him a print.
Why did he like it, you know?
I don't know, but it's properly composed. I know when to shoot, that's all.
You know when to shoot?
Yes. If I had a camera,
Right now.
yeah,
You would know.
here, yes, there, no. You have to give satisfaction to your eye, and
Satisfaction to your eye.
yes, that means, yes, and I know. It's very subtle, all this. And secret at the same time.
It was what you were born to do. Photography. Yes. Yeah,
I don't know.
I do. This says it. This says it. This says it. You know, you found the right tool for you.
Yeah, but I had many fathers.
Who?
Kertész, Walker Evans,
Others?
especially Kertész.
How was he your father? Just because of the quality of his work?
Yes, quite really good. Conversation, he didn't have any,
Yeah.
no, the quality of his work.
Who else? Others?
Schumann Kappa.
Yeah, of course. You love to go to foreign countries and foreign cities and just walk around, capturing what?
If I knew, I wouldn't have done it.
It's just curiosity.
No, it's living and looking, and it's a way of growing. And trouble with my father are the dogs.
It bothered your father?
Yes, because I was washing it in the bathroom.
Yes.
My father said, "But you have sisters."
This is an early passport photograph of you.
This,
No, this one.
oh, it's a Gresham Pound. Okay,
Who?
she was a photographer.
This is a still from the Benel. You talked to him about working as an assistant.
Yes, but you didn't need an assistant.
Yeah. So then, what happened when you went to see Jean Renoir? He hired you.
Yes, I was second assistant.
You thought that you might like to be a filmmaker.
No.
Then why did you go to work for him?
All the visual aspect of film, I wasn't interested, but work for the dialogue. To find the right word. But we could do it only when we knew who would be acting that role. It was wonderful in the morning, but it was shoot for the afternoon, which was very expensive for the producer. That's the strength of the films of Jean, because it was done immediately. He was a passionate person, and if passion dropped, well, nothing left.
You must feel that you have lived life to the fullest. Well, you have
No
grabbed it.
complaints,
No complaints.
Oh,
No,
no,
it's been
complain
none.
my way of acting, I complain. Yes,
You mentioned Jean Renoir.
I mean,
You mentioned Jean Renoir. You went to work for him because he was a great man, because he was a great artist,
giant.
a giant. So are you.
Stop it.
No, I'm not going to stop it. But why don't you accept that?
I know better and ask my friends. I know.
All of your friends would say the same thing.
I'm an anarchist fundamentally, and so it doesn't exist.
What does being an anarchist have to do? Being an anarchist has to do with the fact that this is extraordinary work on these walls, which is a reflection, perhaps, of an anarchist because you wanted to stir things up. You wanted to do something special.
I plead guilty, finished.
Not only that, I know this is embarrassing, but bear with me. You are a defining artist. If you take Cubism, we know who the defining artists are, and so do you. Rock, Picasso, Cezanne. But in terms of photographs, you are a defining artist, a founder. And it's just so much talk to you. It has no meaning to you.
Trying to do better next time, that's all.
How do you get better than this? This work goes back to the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. I don't know of anyone who's taking better photographs anywhere, nor does anyone else, than what I see on these walls.
I take portraits now. For me, it's the most difficult
Why?
portraits. Because you have to pretend that you're not there, that you're not taking, and you shoot. I enjoy very much taking portraits.
You do.
Yes. And now I'm taking portraits of you without a camera. That's the trouble.
That you don't have a camera. You like portraits because every face is different.
Because it's very difficult. I wrote it somewhere. I'm sorry to repeat it, to put the camera between the skin and the shirt. It is very delicate. Because that's what taking a portrait. The camera between your shirt and your skin.
Yeah.
That's it. Looking at people and guessing. Have to guess all the time,
Guessing
what I don't know, but guess what's the significance of a face, and
you don't like to be photographed.
I don't care really.
You don't.
But,
No, you don't care.
depends. It depends.
There is a story that once at Oxford, when you were given an honorary degree,
Huh?
what did you do?
I had the cap and gown. No, because it's embarrassing all this.
It is.
And to be well known is very embarrassing. You're grateful, but
Embarrassing. It gets in the way.
for anarchists, it is embarrassing.
I can't let you get away with this. Define anarchist for me.
Anarchism is an ethic.
Well, what's the ethic? You can define an ethic.
An attitude, a way of behaving, collecting and loving.
Finally, about loving.
Absolutely. Mentally, spiritually, and eventually physically.
But what is the attitude? What is it? What is the attitude that an anarchist has?
Fulfilling a necessity with oneself, with provide permission,
Compromises?
yes, and not be stiff either. It's a very thin margin. No?
No, yes, I agree with you.
And living is very, especially in this society,
Living is what?
we're in a world collapsing. Can't go back.
It will never be again the Paris of the 40s.
No. Something else.
Something else. Perhaps something less.
Keep on fighting.
Ah, there is the anarchist. Keep on fighting. Fight until you die. Talk to me about these photographs, whatever you think. This one.
You know what they were waiting for?
No.
The signal. That's a rideau, a curtain out of the window. That was a signal.
During the resistance.
During the war. Now it's a bank at the bistro. His nails were black.
It's
Giacometti.
Giacometti, yeah.
And he used to take ham and tear it with his fingers. He did it like this, and the egg on top.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his fingers were always full of charcoal.
Did you have to race ahead of him to get this photograph?
I was waiting for him to get in, to go into the cafe. I was waiting on the sidewalk for him, and up I shot.
It is said about you that cafes you enjoyed more than Comédie Française. That your theater for you was to go to the cafe.
So many people of that generation.
Yes. Pierre Bonnard. Pierre Bonnard. Good painter. You like
For me, it's a top.
Do you photograph him, say, Bonnard, because he's a friend, because he's an artist, because
No, I can remember only one thing.
what do you remember?
Yeah, why did you shoot me then? And I said, why did you put a touch of yellow just a minute ago on this painting? And he couldn't answer. So to say,
You made your point.
it's beyond talking to people.
Is that true? You had no answer why you shot him then, in the same way that he doesn't know why you
Yes.
put yellow.
Lucidity doesn't come with words all the time.
André Matisse.
I was staying quite a long time with him. And knows.
Who was the better painter for you, Matisse or Picasso? For your eye, for your heart.
The early Picasso was a great painter. After draftsman all his life. Oh,
The best.
and Scotland, Picasso, but at the beginning only was a great painter. After
Matisse.
Matisse, beginning and the end for me. It was very sweet in between, but not At the end, it was a great painting as well.
Obviously,
But I'm not an art critic, that's my own feeling.
that's what I'm asking. I'm interested
My
in
nourishment comes from them.
your nourishment for you as a human being
Yes,
comes from,
looking at Matisse, looking at Bonnard, and
but how does it affect your work?
but it goes through all the system. Yeah. Never brains.
You know,
Thinking is very different.
it makes you more alive, and therefore, the more alive you are, the better
And
you can
yes.
receive those images that you photograph. Yes?
I have a friend called Arika, who's a wonderful draftsman. He made an analysis of the geometry here. I had no idea, but it's extremely rigorous.
Yeah, rigorous.
Yes, for a mathematician. That's why you can't crop.
Yes.
It has to be complete, and you see up at the same time. Cropping is, but I never crop.
The more you look at this painting, the more interesting it is. This picture.
Not a very good.
Because
There's, but it's him. The composition.
what happened?
He's, I don't remember. He's in a meditation of a Buddha.
You've been to Tibet? Have
No.
you?
I don't think so. I mean, Kashmir.
This looks like Pope Pius XII, is it?
Yes. They were shouting, Vive Dieu, Vive Dieu, Vive Dieu. I had my camera like this, I couldn't move. People were so excited.
This was Paris, 1938. You always use a 50mm camera, not a lot of lens. Just one.
15mm, yes. I like it.
Gandhi, we talked about that. Interesting face.
Death, death, death. When you look at the book, and that's a funeral.
How did you shoot that?
On a pole.
On the pole.
And, excuse me, I think it's a friend of mine of 80 took a picture of me. There wasn't room for two. I gave him a camera and he shot it.
So this is not you at all. This is your camera, but not.
Huh?
Yeah, I see. Has that happened often or only once?
I remember that time.
Yeah. Tell me about this. Tokyo.
That's a word, funeral in Japanese. It's a death of a kabuki actor. Same thing. You mustn't know. You must be ready, aware, and on.
Giacometti.
He's at the opening at his exhibition at mine. And you know, that foot is a foot which has been crossed. Place Pyramide. A girl couldn't drive very well and drove over his foot. He's a genius, Alberto.
A genius.
Ooh,
Who else is in that category? For you?
Matisse.
Matisse.
Not Picasso.
No?
As a draftsman, yes, always that. And a sculptor. And painter, and I don't know.
Did you know Camus well?
No.
No.
I respect him very much.
Ah, bullfighter.
I was living in front of a whole house.
You were?
Yes, so I knew them. She was a madame, the maid, and it was an homosexual who was making his living.
Campo is the photographer you admire the most?
As a photographer, adventurer, yes, as a close friend, photographer. He wasn't very. No, it's a man. It's an adventurer.
Did you share the same love of adventure?
Shin Kapanai,
Yes.
yes, solidarity. Except that I did film, documentary film of the Spanish War.
The return.
Yes. And I should have remained photographer and not making films. Takes such a lot of time to make a film, to edit it. And when we finished editing the film, the Spanish War was over.
I wonder, when I look at this and everything you've done, what kind of filmmaker would you have been? Maybe you would have
I
taken.
was a filmmaker.
Why?
I don't like directing people.
Oh.
Do this, do that. If you're anarchist, you don't say do this, do that.
This? Nice composition. Well, maybe.
No, no, no. I won't give you scissors. Go and shoot yourself.
Oh, this is wonderful. Remember?
Yes, very well.
What do you remember?
But there's no man's land. The Comintern was outside, the communists were there, and nobody in between, except this eunuch. And the communists drove in a few hours later.
Great. It's just wonderful.
I'm alive on account of Colonel Guillermas,
Wow. How?
because I didn't obey to Life magazine. Wanted to me to go on the Amethyst, because I knew the Amethyst had been to Hong Kong. There was an aviso, British aviso. And Life magazine said, well, since you know them, you're going to be on the Amethyst and you're going to shoot the communist landing on the other side. And Colonel Guillermas of a deuxième bureau said, I don't advise you. And the Amethyst was sunk.
It's sunk.
Sunk.
So you wouldn't be
Yes.
alive.
I wouldn't be here. And it's strange because my fortune was stored until my death, and that was included.
Oh, that was included
Yes.
in the fortune
Yes.
that you would die and
But I might.
that you would escape death.
But it's all a question of present, past, and future.
But you don't believe in that, do you? This prophecy? You don't believe in God.
For me, anarchism is an ethic. Ethic is important.
Genet. What can we say?
We can't say it out loud.
Oh, we can.
Truly. We were at pâtisserie. Comment ça s'appelle?
The floor. Oh,
No. Looking at all the delicacies of a grocery here. Wonderful grocery. Come on.
Pochon.
Pochon. Excuse me, may I say it out loud?
Yes.
Yes.
Quelle tonne de merde les Parisiens doivent faire tous les jours. Tons of shit Parisians must be doing. What was your name? Excuse me. It was wonderful, wonderful.
We talked about surrealism. Here's Andre Breton,
Pope,
the Pope of surrealism. Look at the shadows.
he had beautiful sculptures.
Ah,
It's her maid. She lived in the Palais Royal.
did you know her well?
No,
No. Do you like photographing artists?
I don't think. I don't think I'm a photographer. I got a camera and we're drinking and eating and I just have a camera and sometimes I use it. Conversation about women. His mother was a prostitute.
Ah, Lucian Freud.
No comment. I'm not an art critic.
No, I know.
I like his drawings very much.
You're
But
really
the nudes are
grotesque.
Hmm.
No,
not sensuous, not.
most people don't know. I guess your family was the famous Cartier-Bresson textile family.
Oh, yeah. 19th century, it was very good business and it fell down.
Were you strongly influenced by your father?
He loved painting and hunting.
Did you like hunting?
I made a living hunting in Africa. I made lots of money. And I bought, when I came back to Europe, I bought, what's it called? That's English money.
Pounds?
Pounds, yes. And the pound dropped. I lost everything.
Ah, Samuel Beckett. These photographs, how do they come into being? Do they ask to be photographed? Do you ask them? Do you do it for a book? Do you do it for an exhibition?
No,
Why do you do it?
I don't know. I shoot, that's all.
You shoot because it's what you do.
Because it's quicker than drawing. And you don't ask permission or anything. Most drawing, sitting takes time, you have to think and now I do you.
Drawing.
Hands and feet are difficult. Curves, it works. It's true.
I'm sure. I think everything you say is true.
From its perfection of shape and everything.
Water.
That gave me the idea of taking photographs. Rhythm, everything. Yes.
That's amazing. It said to you what? I don't have to draw, I can take pictures.
Yes. Perfection.
Hmm.
Yes or no?
That's right.
Yes or no?
And here?
We went down and drank all together. No, I heard noise.
Yeah.
I opened the door, I saw that, and
Are they making love?
I didn't ask him,
Uh,
but it was beautiful. sensuality. I was living in Calle, Ecuador.
That's good.
They were making, and I heard all the time doing little coffins.
What happens? You're walking in Mexico, in the streets of Mexico. You have your camera in your pocket, and
Not in
something,
the pocket.
not in your pocket, on your wrist.
Mhm.
Okay, you have the camera on your wrist. Something happens. You decide to, a few minutes ago, you look at the face of someone. It says something to you.
But just now, I have no photo, but a minute ago, there, up, I would have shot. It's geometry and everything in the right place.
Picasso could draw. We give him that. What do you have? What is it?
When I'm visual, other people the ear and music, and that's all. I don't know.
Are you as good today as you have ever been?
Who cares? Who cares?
Do you care? You are so much in the moment. You think about today and tomorrow. Part of you doesn't look back much.
Everything, it's a fraction of a second. To be present and
Yeah, to be present.
sensitive and receptive.
Of all the places you have been, is there one that holds a special place in your heart other than Paris and France?
Paris. Paris.
Is,
And I'm grateful to America because if I'm known as a photographer, it's account of Lincoln Kirsten,
Yeah.
Monroe Wheeler.
this has been a wonderful time.
I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May you live a long and happy life.
Until when?
Until whatever. We are with André Cartier-Bresson in Paris at a new exhibition. A remarkable experience to be here.
Don't exaggerate.
Thank you for
I
joining us.
enjoyed talking together.
Yes, we did very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
Oh, merci.
Ah.
Salute.
Salute.
What's yours?
I don't know. I wish it was here. Coming.
Ah, good.
Cheers. Better. I mentioned.
Maintenant, ça va mieux.
More.
No, it's looser.
It's looser and better, yes.